Hi guys, my name is Mindy. Welcome back to the historic Boyertown State Theatre, and tonight we're going to be talking about Backrooms. So Backrooms was released actually today, May 29th, 2026. It was distributed by A24, which I can never say enough good things about. Maybe one day I will make a video just about their films because I do think that they are all very unique, including Backrooms. The creation of this film actually has a very interesting backstory, which I am going to go into just a little bit because I really think it enhances the lore surrounding the fictional world in the movie. The Backroom started off on the internet back in 2019 as a simple concept of liminal spaces. And I know some of you are probably like, well, Mindy, what is a liminal space? To put it simply, a liminal space is like a transitional area. It can be depicted as physical, such as the back rooms, or an area kind of like, those hallways that you have to go through to get to a bathroom, like at the mall, kind of like that. But it can also be like a mental state. Like how you feel when you're entering like a state of change in your life and everything seems a little bit uncertain. They typically imply like a very eerie feeling of like unease, sadness, surrealism. So back in 2019, a YouTuber by the name of Kane Parsons took this idea and developed the Backrooms found footage shorts on his channel. These shorts ended up garnering a lot of attention and eventually caught the eye of A24 and many other distribution companies, but ultimately it ended up being A24, who reached out to Kane Parsons to direct a feature-length film centering around the shorts and the Backrooms, and that's how we got to where we are today. So Kane Parsons, or Kane Pixels as he's known on YouTube, is an American director who was born in the UK. The craziest thing about the whole setup is that Kane is only 20 years old, which to be 20 years old for a director is absolutely insane and incredibly impressive. He does have an upcoming birthday on June 18th, which means him and I are birthday twinsies. So happy early birthday, Kane. I do want to mention that not only did he direct this film, but he also co-wrote the score for it. The movie stars Chiwetel Ejiofor as Clark and Renata Reinsve as Mary. They are both fully in it, and there's not a moment when I doubted either one of their performances. Their fear, anxiety, and horror are palpable throughout the entire film, and you truly feel like you're right there next to them through it all. There's a small part played by Mark Duplass, which I have to mention just because I love him so much. The true star of this movie, though, is the set and production design. This is where the horror is elevated to another level that feels way too close to home. Those dreams that you have sometimes when you're running from something you can't see and you're jumping through walls and you're squeezing through tight spaces and crawling through holes in the ceilings and the floors. Like, this is that movie, like to a T. I've never seen anything more accurately recreate an actual dream world like this movie. The fear comes from the sense of like, familiarity and the inability to escape or control the space that you're in. And the detail is in the lack of detail. And I can only imagine how hard that is to get right. But they managed to do it with this one. The sound design was also quite amazing. Since I was a child, I've had this like unexplained uneasiness with the sound of fluorescent lights, and that is very present in this film. There are noises that slowly reveal horrors that you know based off of the sound must be absolutely terrifying. And it just leaves you sitting there in like unsettled suspense, just waiting for what is coming around the corner. And just to mention here also that the score has a perfectly eerie tone about it for the movie. So if you can't tell by now, I loved this movie. I went in not watching a single backroom short, and I did not feel lost or confused or overwhelmed at all. I am going to be honest that I went into this movie with some reservations. I thought it was either going to be really good or really bad. I was worried that it was going to go the direction of the like cheap jump scare, like PG-13-esque route, but it did everything but that. Yes, there were a couple of jump scares, but they're appropriate and they're not at all overdone. One thing I am going to say is this movie is going to be incredibly decisive. It does borderline the weird movie category and it gets abstract at times. I personally feel like it's a perfect mixture of surrealism and realism, but out of 4 people that I took with me, only one other person liked it, and that happened to be my daughter. My mom, my aunt, and my cousin did not like it. So be prepared if you go with a crowd. That they will probably be pretty split down the middle. I would be interested to take a poll out of people just to ask them if the type of typical dreams that they have relate to the tone of the movie, just to see if that impacts people's impression of it at all. I think that in itself makes this a very special film that shouldn't be missed. Overall, I'm giving this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars. It exceeded my expectations in every way, and I cannot wait to watch it again. I also wanted to throw in a side note that not only was my theater packed, but so were all the other showings tonight. Even Obsession still had some very high ticket sales, which makes me so happy to see. I'm already excited for next week because I finally get to review a film that we're showing here at the State Theater, Scary Movie 6. So really looking forward to that. As always, get out to your local theater, see Backrooms, see Obsession, see Mandalorian and Grogu, which we're still showing here at the State Theater. See any movie, take your friends, family, and let's continue to support filmmaking together. That's all for me tonight, guys. Thank you. Love you. Bye.